My name is Michael Mastro. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to look at the chart for Rudi Giuliani, who's was the mayor of New York City, a presidential candidate, a lawyer, and very reached a lot of achievement in his life. If you look to the eastern horizon when he was born, you would see the constellation associated with Virgo rising at 6 degrees. 6 degrees becomes the most effective point of every house. Any planet like Rahu Ketu, like Mars, like Venus, or Saturn that are within 5 degrees of that 6 degrees have a lot of impact in his chart. Um, in the transformational Vedic astrology, we place a lot of emphasis on multikona signs. So, what are multikona signs? Multikona signs are the signs that are most closely associated with a particular planet. So, for example, Venus rules two signs, it rules Taurus and Libra. Venus is a significator for relationships as well as Libra. So it is more closely connected and becomes the multikona sign for Venus. And then, many other planets rule two signs. And so, likewise, the multikona signs for every chart are 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 11. And so wherever these signs, the numbers refer to the signs. The houses are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But the numbers refer to the signs. So the first sign is Aries, second sign is Taurus, third sign is um, Gemini, etc. So let's look and see where these multikona signs fall. Every one of these squares has a certain influence on some aspect in our life. So we have the first sign of Aries ruled by Mars in that eighth house. The eighth house is transformation, death-like experiences, obstacles, um, research, and windfalls, and also in inheritance. So then we see the fourth sign of Cancer, ruled by Moon, in the house of income and social connections, working on that, fulfilling his desires. Then the fifth sign in the 12th house of spiritual growth through letting go of attachments. It's also imprisonment, separations, addictions, sleep issues, sexual issues. So all of those things working on. And then we have the sixth sign of Virgo, in his first house. That means health and life purpose, working on those things, longevity. Seventh sign of Libra in the second house of wealth and continuation of the marital bond, stability in marriage, working on that. I got a couple divorces. Sagittarius in the fourth house of property, happiness, family. Then you have the 11th sign of Aquarius in the sixth house of conflicts, debts, legal issues, health issues. So those are the things, the main focus in this life, things that his came here to work on. So let's look at wherever the multikona signs, whenever they fall in the 6th, the 8th, or the 12th, the Dusana houses, the challenging houses, they can cause harm in the chart, either in the natal chart or the transit chart, depending on how close they are to other planets and the most effective point, the 6 degrees. So Saturn is close to the most effective point, so that afflicts, 3, 7, and 10 houses away. So it's afflicting a career, 1, 2, 3, 4, the spiritual growth, 4, 5, 6, 7, family, divorce, 8, 9, 10, and partnerships. And then we have Mars 4, 7, and 8 houses away. So it's afflicting income, social connections, and 1, 2, 3. It is just slightly within that orb of 5 degrees from the most effective point. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, marriage, stability in marriage. 5, 6, 7. Investments, children. He had issues with his stepchildren, and 8, health issues, prostate cancer. And then you have a sun, which is malefic because it's in, you got Leo in the 12th house ruled by sun. So sun is here, not within 5 degrees of the most effective point. So not afflicting the house it's in or 7 houses away. So not causing issues there. So let's look at how the planets are operating. So sun is at 14 degrees, not afflicting anything, not causing, it's kind of benign in the chart, giving him probably success in law, and because it's in the house of law and politics, and sun is all about politics. It gives him, his dad was an ex-con who instilled in his in Rudi strong morals because he didn't want his son to fall into the same trap that he did. It gave it's in the house of good fortune, so good fortune through this house that it rules, which is dealing with foreign lands, foreign governments. So good fortune through that. I think he has legal interests representing people all over the world. And let's see, yeah, I think that's the main things. Moon is at 0 degrees. So anything that's less than 5 degrees is said to be in adolescent or infant state. It cannot protect or promote its own significations, and anything more than 25 degrees is said to be in old age, like Jupiter. So Moon is ruling the house of income and social connections and fulfillment of desires, placed in the 12th house of separations, imprisonment, letting losses, expenses. So Moon in this position representing mind can cause some fluctuations in the mind and some losses and expenses associated with the social connections. But in his case, I think it just, Moon is the public, and so he gains income through serving the public in politics. Mars is at 10 degrees. It, again, is one of the malefics in the chart, close to the most effective point. So we already talked about how it can affect the marriage, etc., and also social connections. Gave him a volatile temper, and gave him a lot of battles with his first 2 wives, divorced twice. Mars causes inflammation, so it's afflicting that 6th house of prostate, causing inflammation, and it causes some issues with children. So I think some of his children disowned him, and issues with marriage. Mercury is at 19 degrees. It is ruling the house of life purpose. So he has his life purpose through speech, communication. He is very charismatic in his speech, but also controversial. And it is placed in the house of research, so it gives him good research for legal issues, but also can cause some obstacles and like I said, controversial or dramatic speech involved in a lot of drama. Then we have Jupiter at 26 degrees. It's in the house of income. It's ruling the house of happiness through family and property. It has a lot of properties. And Jupiter itself gives income through law, politics, and uh, and then that's his morality, strong legal opinions. I think he was very successful in prosecuting a lot of criminals, mafia families. Venus is at 6 degrees, and it's close to the most effective point. It is placed in the house of good fortune, ruling the house of stability in the marriage and wealth and reputation. So, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is afflicted by K2. So that can cause, and then 7, 8, 9. So it's so Venus represents wife. So causing a couple divorces, probably there. K2, unexpected events, and I think that's the main thing that I see. Venus is also connected with law, finances. He likes beautiful women, all those things. Saturn is at 4 degrees, again, close to the most effective point. We already talked about the challenges it's causing for his health and drama. And then we have challenges for addictions. I think infidelity can come into this category. And then 8, 9, 10, some entrepreneurial success challenges. So basically, it gives being placed in the house of career, gives career through public service. 6th house is the house of public service. Saturn itself is public service, so gives public favor, and especially after 9/11, he was the mayor of New York City when 9/11 happened, terrorist attack, so he guided the city through that tragedy. Rahu and K2 are close to the most effective point and malefic in his chart. So again, 5, 7, and 9 houses away, they afflict 6 out of his 12 houses. So that can Rahu itself gives desire for social connections, income, charisma, but also can cause some reversals in those areas as well. So it affects marriage and children. So children, issues with the children, issues with marriage, and K2 again afflicting Venus, with causing issues with wife. I think the strengths in his chart are Sun and Jupiter giving, and Saturn to giving public service as a way. It's almost like appeasing the malefics by doing a lot of service in his life, and then Sun giving success in politics, and Jupiter giving success in law. So those are the things in his life. Let's look at the timing of events. Got married during a moon period. Moon is giving income to marriage. Became mayor in 2001 during a Rahu period, giving again this desire for more income and social connections through politics. In 2000, he got prostate cancer, divorced, dropped out of the Senate race during a Rahu-Saturn period. So Saturn is that public service, causing some delay to his public service, and then also afflicting that Rahu is afflicting that house, and Saturn causing, Saturn's the career, so public service, got delayed. Also this prostate cancer. So this is the house of prostate associated with that body part, afflicted by Rahu during that planetary period. And divorce, Rahu is also afflicting that house. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. Mars is afflicting the house of marital stability. So that, let's see, and Rahu is together, a conjunct Mars. Then we have got remarried during a Mars-Venus period. Venus is representing wife. Mars is in the house of income. Then in 2007, he dropped out of the presidential race during a Rahu-Sun period. Sun is politics. Rahu is unexpected events because it can cause some delays, obstructions. Then we have presently, he is in a, let's see, presently he's in a Jupiter Venus period, about to move into Jupiter's Sun in 2022. So Jupiter and Venus. So Venus, Jupiter is again, you know, getting him involved in law and politics, and Venus is afflicted by K2, so causing some issues with law, issues with his being in the house of good fortune, issues with partnerships and relationships, issues with his reputation, so let's see here. So there can be some setbacks with his voter fraud case for Trump, I would say, and more if you look at this. If you look at the transit chart, Jupiter and Saturn are going to be conjunct, and Saturn is going to be afflicting his Jupiter, which is law, and causing delays for his voter fraud case in right around the time when around December 20th. So there definitely can be some challenges for that case. So these are the main points in his chart. Definitely a good chart for success. He's had a lot of success in his life. Gained a lot of reputation. Now, a lot of people say that his demeanor, or he changed a lot, and I think that was during a Rahu period, Rahu moon period, that he went through in the early 2000s, 2008, something like that. Let's see. Jupiter Rahu is. If you look back here, a Rahu moon was in 2009, so there was definitely a shift in his personality. So moon is mind, Rahu causing unexpected events there. Anyway, what could be done to strengthen his chart? Well, transforming Saturn and Mars and Sun by helping people who cannot help themselves. Listening to Vedic chants for those planets would be helpful. Now, his service work in politics has been appeasing, I think, Saturn for sure, and Mars probably. So that's been helping him somewhat. But you know, donating more to charities and things would be helpful. And then strengthen Mercury, because it's in a Dustana house. It's made weak, so wearing an emerald, green clothing, wearing a ruby to strengthen Sun, and a diamond to strengthen, excuse me, we don't want to strengthen the malefics, so that's charities for Sun. But Venus, a diamond would be helpful. Yellow sapphire for Jupiter, pearl for Moon, or wearing a kavash that contains the Devata yantras, which is even more powerful to strengthen those planets in his chart. Thanks again for listening. If you're interested in a Vedic astrology reading, you can go to www.vastucreations.com under services. We have different compatibility readings, a yearly reading, a 3-year reading, etc. Relocation readings. And then if you're interested in learning transformational Vedic astrology, you can go to www.americaninstituteofvastu.com. Thanks again for listening.